Hey there, viewing world. I'm David.
And I'm David.
And this is
Daves of Our Lives.
Today we have a very familiar guest with us today.
Nick, I'm back.
Nick is back today, and we're going to have a pretty cool conversation with him, as usual. And you guys just keep on watching.
Yeah, where I'ma start it at? Look, I'm a part of that. Downtown Philly, where it's realer than a heart attack. It wasn't really that ill until it started crack. Now it's a body caught every night on the almanac. Rock bottom, where them cops got a problem at. Where them outsiders getting popped for they wallet at. I had nothing, but I made something out of that. Now I'm the first out the limo like Charlie Mack from 215.
It's so sad that when you see someone who doesn't have any success, I mean with any like gender that they're attracted to, male or female, they really start blaming like that gender. Like I've seen a lot of women also like on the flip side say like men don't like smart women.
Yeah.
And then of course, going back to guys, a lot of like, let's face it, wimps don't like the fact that women can sometimes be attracted to men. They'll be like, oh man, men or women are only attracted to assholes, like they're making all these excuses for it. So women just don't like super smart, nice, flawless, handsome guys like me.
Maybe it's because you're an asshole that you don't like. Maybe you're just a douche and like you're not really that impressive to anybody. Like you think you're like making yourself look good with your fucking like.
Do you think by sucking up to a female relentlessly, you earn her vagina or something? Like, how does that work?
But even, there's plenty of guys that are working for it, but you just being the nice guy isn't gonna help you out. If you're just yourself a shitty person, if you're an asshole and you're condescending and you don't really do much of anything, you just kind of fucking sit at home and
just kind of exist.
That's not gonna fucking get a girl.
You ever see the ones that they're always talking about? So like, if you were a real man, you would do something like this.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, great, good guys. Like, oh, I want a guy like this, or this is something awesome that a guy does. It's like, oh yeah, like give her your jacket when you're cold, and like open the door for her, and just fucking dumb shit like that. It's like that's just regular fucking nice shit. Like any guy can do that. If that's your standards for what you're looking for in a guy, then you're gonna get fucked over, and you're looking for the wrong fucking thing. It's so stupid. Like it'd be like, oh yeah, I want a girl that makes me sandwiches and gives me blowjobs.
Wait,
yeah, that would be
that's actually
nice.
Yeah.
Yes, it would be very nice.
Yes.
I'm not gonna be posting it up on Facebook all the time, being like, man, why can't women be more like this and be all nice to me and shit? Well, like,
hey, at least they're posting that shit and not the.
They're admitting that they just want somebody to take care of them.
They're rebooting Fantastic Four.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
Alex, give me a reboot that literally no one on the entire planet was asking for 400. The fans of the Fantastic Four were the people that other comic book nerds beat up when they were growing
the
up.
silver age of comic book movies is in full swing.
It's ridiculous. I would have never fucking expected that at all.
The golden age of comic book movies, which ended in the early '90s with Schumacher's ridiculous excuses for bad comic book movies, Batman movies. That ended, and it wasn't actually until like late '90s, early 2000 when Blade came out and X-Men, the new era of comic movies. And even then, they kind of like were around for a little bit until Spider-Man came out and Spider-Man 2 came out, and then they kind of were, and then we had Dark Batman Begins, and then of course 2008 we had Iron Man, we had Dark Knight, and again now it's like the early '70s to late '70s, early '80s where we have this great rise in comic book movies, but they're not just like, big budget action beat 'em up. They're actually trying to make these into movies.
Yeah.
Movies, legitimate movies. They want story. We have character development, and I think the great thing about the Avengers coming out is the fact that we can have a little bit of time for character, but we don't have to do too much of it because we spent so much time with these last few movies that have come out to build.
And that's why the whole movie can just be everything interacting and everything coming into place.
So basically the last Harry Potter movie.
Yeah, exactly. The last Harry Potter movie, like everything's coming into place because everything's been established, and so it all just connects, and it's just
makes sense.
Really good.
How are they going to take this next? I mean, I hear that they want to make an Aquaman movie, and that's just...
Maybe they could give him powers and change his name and his background story.
Yeah, like little tweak. What about if instead of living in water,
he lived in a city called Gotham?
Basically an underwater Gotham. It's like all corrupt and shit, and he's gotta like, he doesn't have powers, he's just a regular merman, but he like...
And he throws seahorse themed like boomerangs and shit to like stop the criminals, but it's like underwater, so it goes really slow and it throws it. And then it pollutes the ocean, and then that's how he wins.
Is anybody else shocked with all this
Nick, please, can we continue on this? Like,
wrap up? Any final words?
fuck the police.
No justice, no peace.
That's short for hustlers. We black ink for life.